How you doing, mother? I like. All right, now you stepping out in them shoes now. That's the devil better watch out step. Yeah. Let me leave her alone. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
What's your name?
My name is Dr. Catherine Leach.
Dr. Catherine. All right, doctor. And then what's your name, sir? What's your name, sir?
My name is Bernard.
Bernard. And how about you, young lady?
Maya.
Maya. And we know you. What's up, G?
Hi, everyone.
You feeling good?
Yep.
You inspired us today. So, doctor, tell us, what brought you to this event and what moved you?
What brought me to this event, Alan invited us. He met us actually at a city council meeting where they were honoring my daughter's ice skating team. And he said, hey, I know of a community where you would continue to thrive and your daughter would, and that's what brought me here.
Were you moved today by this young man?
I'm incredibly moved by the power of young people and how they influence us in this life and all of the intelligence that they have that we just need to continue to observe and watch and learn from. Absolutely.
That's right. So did you enjoy today? She was telling us that you were honored. Where were you honored at before?
I skated and we did really good on our competition, and that's what we were being honored for. Yeah, it was.
That's good. So how did today's event impact your life today? What stood out to you?
I think it was cool to see what others were doing with the resources that they would be able to have.
That's so good. That's great. And how about you? How did you feel about today's event? There was so many inspirational messages. How did that move you? One of the things they kept talking about is that black voices needed to be heard. We need to hear from black men. You had this young gentleman speaking. So, you being a black man, how did it impact you?
I think it was great. It's great to listen to young Genesis, the way he articulates himself and the way he speaks, and the thing he's doing, and it's an encouragement for young and old people to follow and listen to what he's saying. So I think it was a great experience today.
Our next speaker, I gotta tell you, when I looked up this gentleman, I was amazed. First off, coming from COMPTON, man, I was inspired because I worked in education, special education teacher and a physical education teacher, and I worked in Virginia doing this. My brother's a principal, so I respect people, especially our black men who work in education, to see and make a change for our children. And this gentleman, amazing, Principal Rob, this is a visionary leader. K-12 Crypto, Next Generation Financial Teaching Youth Summit. The list goes on and on. But he is working to provide a profound impact on just what we're talking about today, community, and the countless lives that are involved in that. So please, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm welcome for Principal Rob.
Thank you. First, I gotta give love to G is great, Genesis, mom, father, just to allow me to be in community with y'all. For those who don't know me, my name is A.R.T Raw, Principal Raw, known as the Revolutionary Principal. Born and raised from Compton, I was that one kid that didn't see the relevance in school, so I built a school. So I founded a school. We had back-to-back 100% graduation rates. We had 0 fights, right in the hood, right in Watts. I graduated 90% of my students. They were all accepted to 4-year universities. But I realized that I was just revolutionizing the experience, and now it's time to revolutionize the system. 90% of my students who were going to 4-year universities, they were caught up in student loan debt. 60% of black and brown wealth is caught up in student loan debt. I was introduced to crypto, and I realized it could revolutionize the system. So I quit my job at the height of my career. I was an award-winning principal, an award-winning author, had an Amazon best-selling book, going across the country being a national speaker, and I started a company called K-12 Crypto to democratize the access to Web3 via Learn to Earn for K-12 students. students will be able to earn Satoshi and digital assets while they go through school, but they can't get those assets until they graduate. It's an opportunity for them to fund their future. So we just did a Next Generation Financial Teaching and Youth Summit where we had over 150 kids come together to learn around Web3, blockchain, and how they could actually take ownership of their learning and fund their future without a middleman. G was there as a keynote, and we revolutionized the system. So we just going across the country. I just spoke at Columbia to teach leaders across the country, from superintendents to the DOE, all across, around the new world that our kids have to be part of. If you're a parent in here, it's really diving into this emerging technology. Because if we don't fight right now, 10, 15 years, we're going to be fighting the same fights we fight now in the next generation, the creator economy that is Web3. So I don't know how much time I had on here, but I'm good? Yeah, so I really just want to say this. I'm super excited for just everybody being in the community, super excited for what we are going to, because we're the builders. The mascot of my high school that I built was called the Change Agents, because we believe that students need to be an agent of change. I'm the youngest of 6. I came from a family of educators, but I didn't think it was cool to be an educator. I read this book called The Alchemist, and it changed my life. I thought I was going to be just a rapper and a football player. But I chose my authentic self. It's a book called Chop Wood, Carry Water. And in the book it said, sometimes you got to surrender the outcome and be your authentic self. And that's what I provide for education. I wear this Compton hat wherever I go. From Detroit to Harlem, I'm teaching in Cleveland, in Ohio, to all demographics. But this Compton hat is representing the underrepresented. It's for that one kid that see themselves in me. It's that one teacher that see themselves in me. That one investor that see themselves in me. That one politician that see themselves in me to say, you are good enough. So if you're up in here and you feel like you got a code switch, no, you're good enough. Like, you're good enough. The G, you're good enough. You know what I mean? So hopefully my words hit somebody, hit their spirit to go to somebody and say, yo, listen, I love what you're doing. How can I help? How can I help? And if you have kids, go to the teacher and say, what are my kids building? Because right now in education, the number one problem in education is leadership. There's a lack of visionary leaders in schools. Challenge the principal. What are the students building? What are they building? Are they building products? Are they building services? I'm tired of education saying that black and brown children can't achieve. For the last 30 years, they've been trying to close the achievement gap, and it's actually widened. So we have to do something about it. And then I'll just leave this with you. It's important for us to interrogate the system. And what do I mean by that? Right now in education, there was a $600 billion budget that was put in K-12 education. Most ed tech companies focus on Title I schools. Title I schools are low academic, low performing, low income foster care and English language learners in the school system. Over 75% of Title I schools are black and brown kids. Ed tech companies focus on Title I schools, but those who are ed tech founders don't look like those who they're trying to serve. So it's really important for us to interrogate not only culturally relevant responsiveness and pedagogy, but we also need culturally responsive technology. And it's really important for us to come together and talk about how does that exist. The work I do is art. I was a rapper, but how I liberate young people, that's art. Not everybody can do that. So I just say this, change the world, and don't let the world change you. Thank you.
One second, we got a question for you, principal.
Hi everybody, this is Michael again. I want to ask you 2 questions. What inspired you? First question. The second question, where did you find, what's the word for it? Where did you find the fire? I see your passion. I feel your passion. I don't know anybody else in here, but it's good for you to share it. Just like Michael Jordan, for example, where did he find that fire in him? Kobe Bryant, where did you find that fire within you? If you can explain that.
Yeah, I first always say it's from my Savior, and then also my parents. So my father was a revolutionary, he was a black nationalist, right? And you can Google Amin Ra, Professor Amin Ra. He became a political prisoner, and I was almost dropped out of high school. So he was in prison when I was in 11th grade, and it was all up in the newspaper talking about how bad he was, how bad our family was, and I had this teacher that just wrote positive words of affirmations every day. I thought she was crazy. I was like, yo, every day, you know. And my mom, through all that, if she was here, she was like, I was a failing entrepreneur, because when my father was in prison, she was trying to do everything she could to just keep us above water, while all my other siblings was away at college. I'm the youngest. So I'm seeing her just being able to just go to like being a clown, like she's wearing clowns and doing sewing, doing makeup, doing all these different things. So as I grew up as a young buck, I'm like, yo, my mom got that energy, my father got this intellect, and I just seen, and I seen my cousin get murdered in front of me. You know what I'm saying, over some Jordan shoes at Luders Park in Compton. If you're in Compton, you know Luders Park. So seeing those different things happening like in less than 2 years, and then I end up getting a scholarship, I lose my scholarship over my knee, and then I come back and I lose another cousin, it inspired me to say, and then when I read The Alchemist, that's when education chose me. You know what I'm saying? So I found my hidden treasure to inspire anybody I come across, and to provide education and access to it, right? And teach people this, like if you can see it, you can dream it. If you can dream it, you can build it. If you can build it, it's possible. And that's really where my inspiration comes from. It's from my parents, my savior, and just, man, love. Like, love conquers all. And how I define love is learn off village energy. Like, this is a village, you know, so the energy in here we can all learn from. I don't know if I answered that. Question?
He said Cleveland, that's my city, that's where I'm from. And we face a lot of the same struggles. And I hear it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I felt what you were saying. So I guess my question for you is like, for everybody that hears you that's here, like we're moving, you know what I'm saying? So I think about what can we do to bring the work that you're doing to our city that we're all doing. Because I'm sure a lot of us kind of resonate with your message and like want to share it in a way, but how are we able to do so? And so like that's my question, like what can I do to take exactly what you're doing, some of the work that you're putting in, some of the effort that's happening, and bring that, and send that to the right people, and then show up even myself when I go home, and like do exactly what you're talking about doing. Like, how do we do that?
Yeah, one is just amplifying, but number two is we need to value students as creators, right? It's the creator economy, and I always challenge leaders in the space. We need to define what that means, right? Like you hear people say disrupt, you hear people say transformational, you hear people say revolutionary. So I'm gonna clearly define what I mean by revolutionize the educational system, and that means that students have the ability to fund their future and they get compensated while they're in school. Why is that important? Is because millions of kids make millions of dollars for a lot of companies. Millions of dollars, right? So why is that the case where they are serving a purpose to get user acquisition and not user fidelity? There was if you got time, look up a research called Cash for Grades by Dr. Roland Frye from Harvard. Harvard did it. It showed it increased engagement, it increased attendance, and it increased grades. It didn't show that it increased standardized testing, but that's a whole other different story. So what I would say to amplify the work is for us to really band together and understand that students need to be valued as creators, right? Because the economy is moving fast, and it's moving at a rapid rate. There's projected 73 million jobs that will be eliminated by 2030, right? So the economy, Cleveland is a lot like Compton. So we suffer some of the same issues. So amplifying, working together to say, hey, how can we start valuing students as creators? Now, that's where our team, we do the research and we know what's possible, right? And what I mean by what's possible is, based off of federal funding, schools can't pay students. However, the vehicle is through EdTech companies. So we're creating a student creator fund, and every EdTech platform should have a student creator fund that is paid back to students, and it's unlocked like a custodial account when they graduate.
I love that. I'm gonna talk to G.
I think you have one more question.
Because our philanthropic efforts are geared towards creative schools, like charter schools, schools of arts, things like that. So I'll get one talk.
I don't want to take too much time, man.
Just one more question. This is the last one. Go ahead. You'll find out why.
It's really not a question. So my name is Duran Davis. I do venture capital and technology. So it really resonates what you're talking about as far as the proliferation of financial. One, to Genesis, I did want him to talk about non-fungible kids. I didn't hear anything about that. So that's very important, especially being a father of 7. I spent most of my time in this event proving that I'm a father of 7 with my wife. So I do want to hear about that. In addition to the fact that you said Detroit, I'm from Detroit, so whatever you're doing there, so it's not a question, I would like to support those efforts. Thanks.
No doubt. Appreciate it.
Give a warm welcome to Genesis.
Alright everyone, to kick this off in true G's prepared fashion, who's ready for a quick mindful moment? I can hear you! I'd like you to close your eyes, and I'd like you to take some deep breaths. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Now, let's listen to the frequency of love. Now, I'd like you to smile. And now, I'm going to say some powerful words. I am grateful. The more I give to others, the more I receive. I am gifted. I am abundant. Inside of me, I have everything I need. Inhale and exhale. Now, I would like you to repeat after me. I am grateful.
I am grateful.
The more I give to others, the more I receive. I am gifted. I am abundant. Inside of me, I have everything I need. And let's say it one more time, all together. I am grateful. The more I give to others, the more I receive. I am gifted. I am abundant. Inside of me, I have everything I need. Inhale and exhale. Now slowly wiggle your fingers and toes and open your eyes. Hi everyone, welcome to A.R.T Launch. Art just a few months ago was just an idea, but today is finally a reality. I'd like to thank all of you for taking time out of your busy schedules to be here today. I'd like to thank my Uncle Phil and Uncle Alan for believing in me and helping to make this possible. I also like to thank my Uncle Israel and the ICGNU Collective for supporting and partnering with me to help bring this vision to life. I'd like to thank all the amazing leaders and speakers here today. And I also like to thank my parents because they support everything I do. Today, I wanted to talk about community. Is a village of love. It is Ohana, or family, who loves you, supports you, and believes in you, even when it's hard to believe in yourself. When we come together and build and create as a community, one win is a win for us all. I'd like to thank everyone because I'm so proud to be a part of this community, because so many of you are working so hard to make sure that kids like me and the future generations have access to this education. So with that said, today let's celebrate one another. Let's love one another, because a dream you dream alone is only a dream, but a dream we dream together is reality. So let's go out there and be the change we want to see. Thank you.
All right, we're back. What's up, y'all? Jordan Riley here at the art event. Tell us what the name of this event is, G.
Art, which means align and rise together.
And we have been arising, aligning, and coming together, and all of those other letters. All right, how you feeling, sir?
I'm blessed and grateful to be amongst, like-minded individuals who are just continuing to raise the bar for everyone, to the next fellow man. We're blessed.
Yes, tell us your name, Mr. Blessed.
Yes, my name is Noah Gunaluide. I'm here amongst other creatives. I'm a TV producer and also a live events agent. And here. Yes.
Wonderful. So how did this event inspire you and this young man and his words?
Genesis is a one of a kind that I've not met in a generation. They come once in a generation, and today just listening to him speak with the wise word that he chose to just utter out has just kind of inspired me to just continue to build the legacy that we all have within our hearts, whether if it's inspiring or building a foundation or a company, just do it and do it with love, do it with other people. Don't do it by yourself because you won't go far. And that's one thing that he kind of, engraved in me today. And I'm very, very grateful for that, being live and present. So, yeah.
Doing it with love. That's so awesome. Let us know where we can find you. And what have you been producing or?
So I'm a season 3 producer for American Ninja Warrior. Started in 2020.
That's when the kids are going around. Right?
Kids and the adults. Genesis, you should try this. Yeah. So I produce American Ninja Warrior. I also produce the BET Awards for the live awards shows every year. Started in 2016. We're going on 2023 now. And also do freelance events like the Afro Awards, Oscars, work with Disney, so on and so forth. Just wrapped up on Snowfall. So, we're blessed to keep going on and to keep keeping on.
Our next speaker. I've been watching this brother since I came into Web3. Coming outside of DC, being next to Howard University, having multiple family members come and graduate from HBCUs. My daughter is actually pledging to be an AKA right now. And I am amazed at the work that this gentleman does. He's a philanthropist. He is a leader in education in Web3. He brings a lot to the table, and you're going to hear what inspires him, but something that I think everybody in this room needs to be a part of. Let's give it up for Brian O'Neill.
What's going on, everyone? How you guys doing? All right. Thank you, Apikasi. Thank you, G. Thank you, fam. Thank you, everybody who is, involved with this. This is amazing to see. I'm Brian. The internet knows me as Onaji. I'm in the crypto Web3 space, blockchain, all that good stuff. Ed tech. Shout out to Principal Rob. But I've built over the last year what the community has dubbed us as Web3's first HBCU. I'm heavy into education, but I'm heavy into tech. What we've done is we've taken an NFT project and turned it into Onaji University, basically where we're teaching Black, Brown, and allied people about all emerging tech. So AI technology, crypto, NFTs, financial literacy, all that good stuff. That's actually how I met all of the family that I see in this room right now. So thank you. I don't want to go too long, but yeah, I have a background in education. I also am a father of 5, so shout out to my Black Don't Crack over there. I got to try myself. But yes, I've been on the West Coast. I grew up in Reno. I don't know if many people know about Reno, 3% Black people, right? I didn't see rooms that looked like this my whole life, right? I moved out to LA about 5 years ago and have been in tech ever since. I actually got a chance to speak at multiple conventions last year. I was at Afrotech last year where we had a room that looks like this, but amplified 20,000 people. It was beautiful Black and brown people. I'm in the space, I'm up here today because of representation, right? The crypto space right now, the Web3 space, and that emerging technology, it doesn't look like us, right? We're being left out of that space. And one of the reasons why I joined and built what we've built is for representation. We want to make sure that not only that we don't get left behind in this space, but crypto, as Principal Rob was saying, is a perfect time for us to close this gap, right? We can actually make a lot of headway when it comes to this tech and when it comes to ownership and governance and sovereignty over our own creations, okay? What I'd like to say, I'll leave you guys with this, and then I'll probably field a couple questions, I guess. But we try to keep it very elementary, right? There's two ways that I see this thing going, right? People are either playing catch or they're playing keep away. I'm interested in the people that are playing catch. This room looks like people playing catch, networking together and sharing resources and figuring out how we can build together. So shout out to all of you, shout out to G. Man, G, all right, here's the thing about G. I've got my youngest is about his age, right? But my youngest is special needs. So I'm fighting with the schools every day. I'm in schools every day making sure that, you know, my baby's all right, just that's it. So when I see him, I see a young brother like that, and I'm like, man, that's him right there is enough inspiration for me to keep this thing going for 20 more years. All right, that's me. Oh, not
Question.
Can you tell us more about crypto space and who's behind crypto space?
Who's behind it? How much time you got? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. The coolest part that drove me into crypto is the decentralization part. So there's a lot of coins out there. There's a lot of things where they are centralized and some entity owns it and controls it, right? But the valuable pieces out there, the whole network controls it. It's a network of just computers, right? Which we call nodes that are linked together and can't be tampered with. And all the information that comes through there, it keeps a ledger, keeps a record of what's going on there. So for all the valuable crypto out there, everybody owns it. Everybody has a piece of it. Everybody has a chance to own it and have their own governance over, you know, their own assets. Yeah, it's, you know, like where some of us are from, you know, it's like keeping money under the mattress or keeping money in the safe. We can go back to that where we are in control of our own assets. We don't have a third party or middleman that tells us what we can do with our money if we can actually even access it. Does that answer that question?
Hey, I'm Bandy, I'm an artist.
Mr. Onaji, ladies and gentlemen, give him one more round.